Hey Virgo, what's going on? We're here with the Timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Justice and Three of Swords. Okay. Immediately, this is looking like something going on between you and another person, or something going on between people, we'll say. Looking at Capricorn and Libra here, and Venus. Having Aquarius wanting to come out too. Neptune. All right. Also, the moon wanted to come out. That looks like the end over here. Now, what is happening? All right, starting off with Justice, I generally see the first card that we start off with as like the overall theme or kind of the vibe for the reading, and also the energy that you're in, like in the beginning of this. Justice is a space where you can feel like there is a need to be balanced with something. You can feel like you need to rebalance something. So there can be a part of you that's like, something is off here and it needs to be corrected, whether that's something that I'm doing or something that another person's doing or something that I'm allowing or something that I'm not taking action with here. You recognize that there is a need for balance in some way. Now, what does this have to do with? I'm seeing the Three of Swords come out. So there's like suffering of some sort that's here. There can be pain of some sort that's here. So this can mean there's a feeling like a need to correct something that has happened, because Three of Swords can be like the wound from something, okay? Justice is like, what is the approach that one needs to take in order to actually address this? And justice is meaning that you want to bring things back into a place of harmony. So sometimes with the Three of Swords, it can be like there can feel a need to like get even or something like that, but you just want to make sure that no matter how it is that you're doing this, the intention that you have in the back of your mind is for this to be a move in the direction of harmony rather than further like disruption and chaos, because then that's not going to be sitting well with you, which I am saying because we're starting off with Justice. So this is the part of you that feels like there is a right way to do things and there is like an inherent balance to things, and you being an agent of change to bring things back into balance, which is again like that sense of harmony and things working in the way that it's supposed to. Something is catching my eye here. I want to tune into this for a second. I'm seeing something about like marks that have been made, but I'm not seeing like what made those marks, but knowing that there's like an imprint that this has left. So maybe it's not even about like pointing the finger at a specific thing. It's recognizing, or a specific person or something like that. It's like I'm seeing that part not be there, but I'm seeing again like the mark that it's made. So maybe it's about getting to a space of addressing like what's happened rather than who's at fault or who's to blame, is what this is feeling like to me, as much as that can feel like a difficult thing to do. I am seeing ultimately a situation come to an end. To have the Devil here, the Devil speaks about us paying attention. It can be like paying attention to the wrong thing, or thinking that something's going to be the answer when it's not really going to be the answer. Having Hanged Man next to it is addressing any type of illusion that we may have not been willing to really look at before and break down. So anything that had been clouding our vision, where there had been a blockage because of that. And the Devil comes through in a way where it's like, it's not an obvious way of, I'm just believing this thing that isn't true, or that I'm like out of sorts or out of balance here. It's something that we think is going to be the answer, but then it's not really the answer. And when you do honest self-reflection, you recognize this, like this isn't the way. Having Hanged Man come down here is speaking about how if you're trying to find like a deeper understanding of this, or like the deeper answer, see beyond this or through this, and like the deeper spiritual purpose of it, it feels like it's going to allow you to come to terms here which is feeling also like I'm not gonna be allowing this to continue. I'm gonna put a close to this. I'm gonna put an end to this. But there can be some stuff going on where the devil, I mean, in a situation where it seems like something interpersonally is going on, this can be something that's been allowed to continue because of a place of codependency, like operating from that space, but maybe labeling it as something else, you know? Maybe labeling it as something passable when really what's happening, you can look at it and be like, this really isn't the way, and it's not the answer. And when I do separate myself from this and look at it from a zoomed out point of view, I can see that. But it can be like, the devil can be that thing that's so hard to admit to yourself because you don't want to stop doing it, you know, or you don't want to have to put a stop to it, or like it's been making you feel good in the moment, but then like long term not feeling good because of it. So it's something that ends up wearing on you. But it's like that specific thing that's like the difficult thing to do, but the right thing to do, that needs to be addressed here. And also understanding why this has been happening, where this has been coming from, because the Hanged Man isn't just about like, now I'm gonna look at this from a different angle and have a different point of view that's not related to what I was seeing before. Hanged Man is about gaining insight, especially like energetic and overall spiritual insight of something, so you can learn about it and understand where it's coming from in the first place. Like, why does this have power in this situation when it's something that you can see as being corrupt, where it's something that you can see as not being the answer, when it's something you can see as being a way to maybe temporarily relieve something, but not going to provide you with the actual relief that you're looking for, or the actual liberation that you're looking for. You know, it's something that you can feel like you're just more and more a slave to it, whatever this power is, whatever this force is. And being in a space where we go from Hanged Man to Ten of Swords means like I'm realizing that this is not meant to continue, and I'm gonna have to close this out. I'm gonna have to put an end to it. And that it feels too like that's going to free up your space mentally in a way that you may have not been feeling free before, because your energy was going to this. Sort of felt like mentally being imprisoned by this, actually. This is something where if you are like totally honest with yourself when you look into this, you can look at it and be like, I know that this isn't the thing for me, or like this really isn't like a healthy thing for me to be doing, or I don't feel, this isn't something that makes me feel good, not long term. Because you know the devil can be like getting into something and being like, this is temporarily satisfying my ego, or like quenching my curiosity, you know, that type of thing. But when you look at the more long-term effects of it, you can feel like it's sort of draining you, actually, or that it's like not making you feel great, whatever this is. But it can be something that comes from a place of pain, and this is something that's temporarily, like the devil is going to be something that's a band-aid that you can put over it. So it's not that it doesn't take away the pain at all, or that it doesn't make you feel better in that moment, but it's like long term, it's not actually fixing what's going on and what's begging you to address it here, which looks like a deeper sense of pain that you can see as being some type of injustice. Maybe you feel like somebody wronged you, you know? Maybe you feel like somebody deserves it, like that type of thing. But maybe you also feel like you sort of do as well. Or you could be on the total other side of this too. When we have something coming up that's sticking with us, it's because we're either identifying with the energy or identifying with the opposite energy in something, rather than being in a neutral space, and that's what allows the magnetism of this situation to continue. I do think that you've been very occupied by this situation. From what I'm seeing, it seems quite involved, and it also seems too, if this may be something that you use like to escape from other things within your life, you know, it can be kind of like a little bit of a fantasy that you escape into, or something that like can't be proved wrong or whatever, so it can't really be taken away from you. But you can also feel like this is coming from a space of avoidance within you as well. All right, let's keep moving. I'm seeing the Magician come out here. Justice and the Magician is about, again, like having the deep intention mentally. So this is about intention before you're even doing anything, because what you do will follow when the intention is developed. Having Justice and having the Magician, this is like, I'm going to speak in a way that creates harmony and balance rather than chaos and disruption. There may also be something here to be honest about as well, where you can feel, again, hurt about something. Hurt about a part of you that you value. So whatever this was that happened, you can feel like it impacts the part of you where it's like, this is something that I appreciate by myself and I feel like it wasn't appreciated in this situation. It can be like that type of thing. Needing to address whatever this is that is the Three of Swords. It's like where the start of this has come from. Three of Swords is going to be the beginning of where that pain came from. But it may be something that there's not full insight about this yet. You're gaining it, but you can feel like there's still some stuff that you're working out. Trying to tune in and listen. You can feel too like your heart and your mind are telling you two different things. I get the feeling of that as well. But you know that when you get to a space where the mind is in a pure space and the heart is in a pure space, they're both going to be telling you the same thing. So they're not going to conflict with one another. Just something to keep in mind. All right, here you are. I do feel like something is looming above you, like overhead. You can feel like it's really, really persuading you, influencing you energetically. Like this is something that really has a hold on you, has a grasp on you. Maybe sometimes more so than you're recognizing until you tune in and you're like, wow, this really does have a hold on me. Like that type of thing here. Okay. I'm seeing you be in a space where there's something that you're sort of like keeping to yourself or doing more privately, or it's something that's happening on a more personal level that you can feel like you're still in an in-between space where you can't move forward on something, where you may be like, there's something that I want to do here potentially, but I'm still making sense of it, or I'm still figuring that out. And it can also have to do with what you're actually feeling and then what you want to do about that. But some stuff that has not fully been processed or like fallen into place. You can see it as being like that. This situation can potentially be very eye-opening for you is what I'm seeing. Like So the devil is going to be some type of attachment that you have to something that when you look at that thing, you can be like, I don't think that you're actually the healthiest thing for me. If you're being totally honest with yourself, you can look at it and feel like you gravitate towards this because it fills something within you that you can perceive to be like broken or needy in some way, and you may want this to be the answer. But again, when you do honest self-reflection, you can look at this and be like, I feel very drawn to this. There's a lot of magnetism, but it's kind of in a little bit of a toxic way, if you're being totally honest. And I think that there's a part of you that may be able to dismiss that if you want to. It's like this. If you were to like tell everybody about this, is this something where you feel like you'd be really proud of that and everybody would look at you and be like, yep, that's really the healthy thing for you? Or is this something that you're sort of keeping to yourself and you know that if you were like vocal about this thing, that the overall consensus would be that you know in reality that this isn't the best thing for you to be involved in, is more so what this seems like. So through the devil and the wheel of fortune, which is through a situation that has intense magnetism, like you feel very drawn to something here, like a force. Through that, there is extensive learning and understanding and gaining and wisdom that can be like picked up and processed within you through this, because you know the most intense experiences are the ones where you can gain the most wisdom, because it's so intense and there's so much going on and there's so much happening and so much that can be picked up on, rather than like a mild situation where you don't feel that impacted by it. This may be something that you feel very drawn to it and very impacted by it, and it can feel very complicated and like very difficult to separate yourself from and get out from underneath. And so there's so many different elements and things going on here that you can like totally expand from this. It's something that there's like innumerous wisdom that can be gained from this situation. So you can really use something that's a challenge that you're currently in the midst of to really gain a lot from. Like, this is something that can, I'm hearing, doubly benefit you. I think too, is something that's going to be really profound is the moment where you understand why you're so attracted to this in the first place. Like, why is this thing or this person or this situation, why is it pulling you in with such a strong force? And what can you learn about yourself through that? And like what you're really needing and what you're really looking for and what you really want, like those types of things. What part of you is talking to you and what is it asking you for as well? Having Justice and having Two of Swords can be a part of you that's coming through now, where it's like you need to do the right thing in this situation, but having Two of Swords can be like, but didn't do it yet. Like, haven't made the choice to do that yet. So that can still be on the fence. Like, I don't know if I'm going to or not here. That can be something that's still being figured out. It looks like there were intentions to maybe manifest more of something or get something off of the ground, but seeing Ten of Swords feels like that's not going to be allowed to happen here. So the Magician is you, where you're like, I got a bright idea here, I'm trying to do something. But Ten of Swords can be like, you're actually getting shut down from doing this, as much as it can be, you know, annoying to hear that. But when you really look at this, you can feel like this is actually, maybe later on, you may not see it like that now, but later on you can look at this and feel like it was actually a blessing in disguise, that I'm seeing something is going to be closing out, actually. Having Justice and having the Hierophant is the part of you that has deep values and deep morals coming to light and coming to play here in this situation, where you can be like, this is actually against my personal code to keep doing this. And there's not an objective personal code. This is just you and your values talking to you, which we don't really get to choose what our values are. You know, you sort of come into this and it's like demographics that you can't pick for yourself. Your values are like that too, where it's like you have those, you're not really necessarily in charge of what your values are, like your deep core values, and you either listen to it or you don't. And when you listen to it, you're feeling internal peace, and when you're not, you don't feel that peace. You know, it's like really that simple. And I think something is being activated through this situation where you can feel like there's something that you can't ignore anymore and you're going to have to take action on it, but it may be something that you don't want to have to do. Like, you can be annoyed by this now at this point. Like I've been sitting with this and I've been thinking about this. I do feel like this is something like underground that you've sort of been dealing with. It seems like it's been pretty stressful as well with Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I think that you're learning a lot about yourself and where you stand with things through this situation that can feel like sort of the opposite of how you believe things should be unfolding. I'm getting this thing again of like something's got a hold on me type of feeling with this, because like having the Devil right above your energy is like something really holding on to you and holding you in a space, and it may be keeping you in a bit of an in-between space too, where you can choose to sort of disengage from this and liberate yourself from it, but it may not let you go on its own. Like, you're gonna have to make the decision to do that, is what this is feeling like. Let me see if there's anything else. It seems like there's an empowering route to take, and there may be a less empowering route to take. You get to choose which one of those you want to do, and seeing that it will impact you and it will make a difference if this is something that you put into play here. Having Magician and having Three of Swords can be this part of you that there's an intention to do something, but it can create further wounding. But it can already be coming from a place where there's some type of wounding. Like, you know, like a classic situation, right? When there's like that person that's known for like not thinking well of themselves, where they're like, I'm a bad person, so I just do bad things anyway. It's like one of those types of situations that I'm seeing here, where this can feel kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, where if you're already feeling hurt about something, having Magician and Three of Swords is manifesting something that would potentially reinforce you being hurt again, and it may reinforce a wound that you already have, and that may be part of the reason why you're so attracted to this situation in the first place. And it's something that you can change to put an end to it now, and it may hurt a lot more now to do it, but it's gonna set you free later on, rather than this carrying through. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody. Hold on, I'm seeing, let me just go through the signs really quick. I'm seeing Libra, I'm seeing Mercury, I'm seeing Venus, I'm seeing Taurus, I'm hearing Aries, I'm seeing Capricorn, Virgo, Jupiter, Neptune. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.